everybody, welcome back. In this video today, I want to talk to you about preparations for Shabbat. When you want to celebrate Shabbat properly, when you're turning tshuva and you really want to make sure you keep all the little details, it's very easy, especially when it's so like you're under pressure right before Shabbat, to forget many little details. So I kind of thought about making like a checklist for you guys that I'm not putting everything here because there's still maybe other details that I might have to do more videos about. But for now, I just wanted to give you the list. So first of all, you have to make sure that you bought candles and matches because you're going to have to light candles. The candles for Shabbat, we light 18 minutes before sundown. So in the winter, it's going to be earlier because the sun goes down earlier. And the summer, it's going to be later. And it goes all the way, Shabbat ends when, again, like about an hour after the sundown. And I, of course, encourage you to check. There's some websites like MyZmanim that you can check the exact time. Now, if it's like winter, so make sure you turn the heat on before Shabbat on the right balanced temperature, because you won't be able to play with it to turn it on and off during Shabbat, because you're not allowed to turn on or off electricity. If it's the summer and you need your AC on, again, put it on a temperature that you won't be freezing at night because you won't be able to turn it off. So just put it like with a thermostat. And, make sure you light everything before Shabbat. Prepare tzedakah. In Judaism, you're sharing the good, whether you're poor, whether you're rich, you always try to give some tzedakah. You don't have a lot, give a penny. So you prepare money, and right before Shabbat, you should have a tzedakah box next to your candles, and you cannot touch money on Shabbat, during Shabbat, but you prepare some, even coins, and you and all your family should put a coin or a few coins in the tzedakah box and the charity box right before you light the candles. Of course, you had to prepare challah. Challah is a special bread for Shabbat that maybe we'll do a video about really what it means, but it's special bread. You don't know how to make a challah, there's many recipes online. There's a special blessing when you make a challah, but if you don't know, you can even go to a kosher grocery and buy challah. You will need at least 3 chalot, even better to have 4 because you will need 2 for each meal. So 2 for Friday night, 2 for Shabbat lunch, and it's better to have 2 for third meal. But again, it depends on your family. But anyway, you have to buy them or to prepare them before Shabbat. And toilet paper. You see all the little things again. So toilet paper, you're not allowed to rip it on Shabbat. There's something, one of the jobs that are not allowed to do on Shabbat is to rip. There's different reasons. There's some things that it looks to us like very weird and like why. And it's not about hard or easy. It's about the ripping itself. It's one of the jobs that they would do by building the tabernacle. It has to do with the curse that Adam and Eve were cursed when they did their sin in heaven. I'm not going to go into all that. We have some of those jobs in our YouTube channel. If you want to go to Shabbat, we did a playlist for that. But just so you know, you have to prepare a tissue box that you will have in each bathroom. So tissue box that you have tissue paper, they're separated in it, right? So you can pull it out, no problem. But a tissue paper, you cannot cut it, especially not on the, on those lines. And because you're not allowed to specifically cut where it's already been marked, so with the boxes of the tissue, you have to make sure that before Shabbat, you took off the part that is kind of sealing it, and now the box and maybe another extra box in your cabinet for like if you need an extra one for Shabbat will be already without the lid. Same with if you have a baby or just use baby wipes, make sure you buy the baby wipes that are separated inside, like for example, Walmart has them. So they're not, again, connected to each other. When you pull it, you have to kind of separate them. They're just kind of layered one another. And inside, you just open the lid and you open the little piece there so that when you need them, you're just going to already pull them out. Important to remember that, little things you see. Same with aluminum foil. You're not allowed to cut the aluminum foil, so you have to be able to use it. So in all the stores, you have aluminum foils that are already cut to sheets. Get that one for Shabbat. So the rolls, no problem, use it for any other day, but the aluminum sheets, that's the one you should use for Shabbat, because then you're not cutting them, you just use them one by one. Don't have aluminum sheets, you don't want to buy them, fine. Just cut some extra aluminum foil before and have them cut ready for you. Same with Bounty. You will not be able to cut them if you need it for your kitchen, but you can cut them in advance, even with toilet paper. But you can cut a few for your kitchen in advance and leave them there and use them during Shabbat, but you cannot cut them during Shabbat. And, same with stickers. So that's something to remember. If you have a cake that you bought for Shabbat, of course, kosher cake, but it has a label or a sticker with letters that is covering the opening, and the only way to open it, it will cut the letters. So that connects us to another job, another melacha on Shabbat, and we're not allowed to cut letters. It's like you're erasing something that is written. We're not allowed to do that. So make sure you go and you check anything that you're about to eat on Shabbat, that you kind of pull that sticker or you cut it a little bit before Shabbat. Okay? Now, what about yogurts? So yogurts, they have a cover, right? They have the aluminum usually cover. So make sure when you open them, that you open it very gently so you don't rip the letters. A cake. You made a cake for Shabbat, that's beautiful. But if you're writing on the cake, what's going to happen with that, right? If I'm writing Mazel Tov, happy birthday, on the cake, then I'm going to cut the letters, right? So for that, there is a solution. Maybe not an easy one, but there is. Either you don't write anything on the cake, you just say happy birthday, or in some, stores that they know, kosher stores, they take a chocolate pellet, like a piece of chocolate, and they write on that so you can take it off the cake when you're about to eat it and eat that part later. And it's not, connected, but it cannot be from another material that is not from the cake itself. So you don't want to do that. You see, it's a lot of little things that we're not even thinking about. Check your clothing. If you have a loose string, you're not allowed again to rip on Shabbat. Any separation, we think about it, something physical, but anything on Shabbat that is, that is separation, we don't want to do that. So we cannot separate strings or anything from our clothing. So make sure you look at your clothing for Shabbat and make sure that there's no any loose strings or any, some string that is attached or hair that is on your clothing, because you will not be able to start pulling it off. So you do all that before Shabbat. Shoes, check your shoes, prepare shoes for Shabbat. Make sure that they're shiny, because you cannot polish your shoes on Shabbat. You cannot put creams on Shabbat. So make sure that your shoes are polished before. Make sure you buy a griddle, special griddle. There's one that's called blech. It's like a Yiddish name for it. Blech is a bigger griddle that is easier, but if not, you can buy in any of the big stores a griddle. You have to put it cannot be more than 220 degrees of Fahrenheit, and that should stay the same. You cannot play with the heat. It has to be connected before Shabbat, and that's where you're gonna heat your food. Again, no liquid, just like already cooked food like rice, if you eat chicken, fish, potatoes, and so on. And when you are, when you're putting soup, for example, because you're not allowed to reheat liquids on Shabbat because it changes, kind of evaporate and the whole thing, you have to remember to warm it up before Shabbat and then put it on the griddle before Shabbat starts, because otherwise you will not be able to put it even for Friday night dinner. Toys. if you have kids. If you have kids, if you don't have kids and it's your toys with electronics, you have to make sure you close it and you put it away, because we're not allowed to play with electronics, any electronics, not cell phones, no TV, no nothing on Shabbat, but also, kids' toys. If you have a garden, make sure you water the plants on before Shabbat, because you're not allowed to water the plants on Shabbat itself. You have to water it before. And you have to check your nails, because you're not allowed to cut your nails or your hair on Shabbat. So make sure your nails are not broken. You have to file it. You want to put, for women, if you want to put a nail polish, make yourself beautiful, excellent, but you cannot paint on Shabbat. So you have to do it before. So everything has to be ready from before. If you want to eat fish, so the fish has to be with no bones. So you can either have a fillet that you checked before, or you can have a fish bowl, because you're not allowed to start separating the bones and deal with that during Shabbat. You have to do all of that before. So you see, again, little things that we might not think about them when we're just trying to start celebrating Shabbat. We're not allowed to squeeze, let's say, lemon into any machine, whether it's electric or not. So there's ways that we can just squeeze the lemon directly on the food, like right before we make a salad, or right on the fish when we're eating, but we're not allowed to squeeze on to make a lemon juice, for example, on Shabbat, or lemonade. So we have to do that before. Kosherizing lettuce, all the green leaves like lettuce and spinach, they have a lot of bugs on them. So the way to kosherize them, you have to soak them in water and salt for 15 minutes. Some other ways are like veggie wash and things like that are okay too. That usually takes like 5 minutes in still water and soap, or veggie wash that you have to soak them in. But you cannot kill even the bugs on Shabbat. So you have to do that before Shabbat. Make sure you did that, make sure you soak them before Shabbat, and make sure you looked at them and make sure that all those bugs are off. If you, again, prepare the wine before Shabbat, make sure you open a little bit the little, top of the wine, to make sure that you're not opening the first time when it's Shabbat. Everything has to be ready before. You need to turn on light in places like the bathroom, like your dining table or kitchen, like in front of your house, because you're not allowed to turn on and off lights. So you can do that. You can even put a tape on it so nobody will turn it on and off. And another place that is very important to remember is your refrigerator, because if you're going to open the door, close the door, you're going to turn on and off light. And it's from the Torah. We're not allowed to light fire. And what do we have? We think, it's just the light from a lamp, but it's a spark. It doesn't matter if it's a whole bonfire or if it's a little spark. The prohibition is to light fire. So we're not allowed to light fire, whether it's a spark, whether it's a big one, small one, doesn't matter. So you have to loosen or take out completely the light bulb in your refrigerator. And just to make sure that you're leaving the lights in all, the places that you want, and turning off all the lights in anywhere you don't want it. I hope this is helping. I know it's a lot, but I wish you good luck. And you know what? Shabbat, at first it's so scary, and it's like, oh my gosh, I have to keep all these things, and I cannot use electronics, but you know what? It's like you have time with your family. You can play board games all of a sudden. You earn back your family. You earn back your kids. You have time to sit with them, like one day a week, that it's not, it's not just the kids. We are all addicted to phones, to this, to that. And one day that you can just talk and have a nice, dinner, lunch, play board games, go to the synagogue and pray and pay respect, talk to your neighbors, talk to everyone, enjoy life, take a minute, a pause in your life, have a nap, a nice nap. Just enjoy life without being addicted all the time to electronics. I'm telling you, once you give it a chance, it will just change your life and you're gonna love it.